All right, we're playing some Tour 7 Koh Hong Resort. Let's see if we can get something done today. Playing with a Marlin. Trying to get the end of the week, trying to get the divisional stuff. Trying to make sure I move up. Take this bag. Let's take that bag. Let's take that bag. Hey, get up there. Six miles an hour. 7,000 great to the right, left, down the middle. It's hard to be too far off trajectory when you're using a 100% accurate club. See if my opponent can get up there nicely. It's hard to epic fail on this because you can recover from just about anywhere you're at. Right down the middle. It does seem like we were doing like maybe a 10% adjustment on this. Let's see where I'm at. There's max. I'm gonna try that rough bump. I'm gonna do 4, 6, 8. I'm gonna do a 2-9 pull, almost a 3-ring pull. Isn't it perfect? See if I can actually hit the rough. Nicely. Just a bit outside. I did a 20% adjustment there because normally we're doing a 10, but we're going against that headwind, so I bumped it up to address the headwind. Close. No cigar. My opponent's using a special ball. I'm always confused when we're playing one-on-one and they're using special balls. They either bought a bunch of them or they don't know. I have a teammate that when I first met him, I was talking to him. I was helping him try and figure out how to do the wind ring method, so he called me. And we were playing, and I was talking while we were playing, and the question of balls came up, and he's like, well, I just recently shot a video on balls, and he's like, I didn't realize that, like, on that particular tournament hole, like that ball that I had was like the perfect ball, and I blew them all playing one-on-one because I bought the pack and just went out there and no big deal, they're just balls. He's a little more selective on where he uses his ball collection now, though. In the hole. Got some burgers and fries. And a soda. Don't forget the soda. Now this is one of the par 3s in this game that if I'm playing with tailwind, I do think that a lot of people that play with tailwind here, and there is a great rough bump that you can do on this green. It's especially good when you've got tailwind. But if you've got any kind of headwind, you've got to make a bigger adjustment. So normally with tailwind, if I make an adjustment, it's no more than 10%. But usually no adjustment with tailwind or side wind maybe with side wind a 10%, but whenever I've got headwind here, it's a little bit bigger of an adjustment for sure. And it will roll down to the bottom. Let's see which way that wind's blowing. So 10% would be 9.9. Half of that's 10.5, let's say. There's 5. There's 10. 5. Isn't it perfect? Barely made it over. Barely. Laying it up at the top. All right. That was Santa Ventura, hole 3, par 3. What was I thinking? I didn't replay the guy. Damn Ricky maneuver. Was down a couple in Tour 7. Dinking around. I've been playing a lot of Tour 5. I want to play those White Cliff holes, but trying to do my divisional stuff, I figured I'd go up to Tour 7 and play for a bit. Go right up the middle. There's 5. There's 9 too. Shoot it right down the middle. Just lay it up out there. That'll give me a wood shot, sniper shot all the way to the cup. In tournament play, we can play a max overpower hook shot here. If you bring out a power 3 ball, you can get down into this range down here where you're in your long iron range. But if you can get your trajectory right, you can get up there into your short iron wedge range or right off the green, especially if you bring out a bigger power ball. This is one of those holes that it plays very much the same that it used to play, but it's totally different. They changed this corner right here, getting stuck in that corner. This second cut of the rough right there used to be the out of bounds, so it was super easy to end up out of bounds on this hole. All right, should be towards max club. Give myself a little room for maneuver. Two 7. There's 2 7. One ring great to the left. Of course. Why wouldn't it be one ring great to the left? Hello. See if my opponent can recover. They did the wise thing by just hitting themselves up there and giving themselves a nice clean shot. It's better to take a shot from distance like that from the fairway, have a nice clean shot, set yourself up for success, than it is to try and go for the hero shot and end up in the rough and end up Actually taking yourself out of the shot. In the hole. Eagle. What I find funny on this hole is how often you're in this situation where your opponent has made a flub. This is a super easy hole to not get in trouble on. But yet it seems like about half my opponents end up in some kind of trouble on this hole. And I never fear going to a shootout, but it's always better when you don't have to go to one. See if my opponent can make it. Perfect. They're right on track. In the hole. That's what I'm talking about. Nice shot. Nice shot. It's a draw. Going to a shootout. I'm going to do a 30% adjustment on this no matter what. So that's going to be 6-5. There's 5, 6, 5. It's a 30% adjustment. Hitting it perfect. See if I can get if I got my speed right. Nope. Look on where the light is.
I said, thank you, baby.
Yeah. Not exactly what I was looking for there, just a little bit too much speed. Rolled out. It's probably at the closest point in its trajectory, only about two yards away. That's where we definitely want to end up. See if my opponent can beat that pitiful shot that I took. And they should easily be able to beat that. Little off trajectory. Picking up the win. Amazing. Good game. Good game. Let's see if they'll replay. See if we can get some replay action, some rematch action. Hell no. What were you thinking? Let's open up a chest. Get it out of the queue. See if we can play for an hour. Get get some points. I'm kind of irritated about the not being able to buy the practice tokens, only being able to win them, and we don't have access to the holes in regular tour play. And if you don't have practice tokens, you don't have access to them that way either. There's 1, 2, 3.5. Hitting it perfect. Seems like we played this hole before. This is definitely a rinse, wash, and repeat hole. 100% accurate club, QB. I used to play this hole strictly with a QB. Now the rock, 100% accurate club. Lay it up in the center, sniper to the cup. You got plenty of room with the topspin on a sniper to work out pretty much any kind of headwind. straight up shot. It should be a foregone conclusion when you get to this hole that you're going to go to a shootout. You've got those occasions where you can pick up the Albie. But a lot of people come here and they try and work themselves around that corner to try and really pick up some distance and end up in the rough out there, which normally you can recover from. My opponent's in the rough, right where my last opponent was at. All right, I'm right at the red line. Pretty dang close. 4-6. I'm going to do a 5-ring pull. One ring great to the right. And actually in that situation, perfect. Albatross. Getting the Albie. Woo! Putting the pressure on. I would have went for that. I would have still went for that shot. I never would have forfeited on that. The deal is that you could try something there and there's no downside. You get a free shot. You already paid for it. Let's see how far up I am in the ranks. You got to be at 1.3 in order to need to win a couple more games in order to get myself up into the promotion zone. Here we roll. Let's clear out a chest. Clear it out. See if we can get some more Tour 7 action. Santa Ventura hole 8, par 4. This hole right here, we've played this hole in so many tournaments. And the deal is that I have a stock setup shot that I do here when I'm out on the course. And then we just played this here not too long ago. A couple tournaments ago, this hole was in a tournament. And I play it a little bit different. So when I play it in a tournament, I got to remember how to play the tournament. And then when I get done with the tournament, then I got to remember how to play it in one-on-one. This is a tough hole to get an eagle on, but it's a super easy birdie hole. And it's going to be especially hard on my opponent because you can't recover from that spot. Bring a rock. You only need a couple topspin. So 6, 8. There's 5, 6, 7. Gets me a little bit into power. You know, 1 ring great on the left. On the outside. And I'm going to over curl that probably. Whew. Just barely made it. And the minimum spot to get into is the spot that I'm at right there. Just barely past that shadow. This next setup, because I have a sniper, I'm actually going to use curl. And so it's going to look all weirded out because of where the tree's at. But I'm actually curl's not represented in our ball guide, so when I put the curl on there, it'll go around the tree. But to start off with, it'll be a little bit hinky. If I can get it around this corner. If I can get it around that corner. 9-2. There's 4. Whew, and I'm already at the red line. There's 5. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if I got my power right. Just trying to get up on the green, give myself a putt. I know when you're looking at that shot, it looks like, what the hell are you doing, dude? The tree's blocking it. You're not in the thing. I'm not worried about those. Curl. There's so many shots that we set up in this game where you're trying to get around the trees and the trees are blocking your view, and people are so concerned about the ball guide. Curl's not represented in your ball guide. And I've taken that shot bunches of times. That's why when we play this in a tournament, that shot on that side, while it is as ugly as it looks, it's guaranteed to get you a birdie. And there's sometimes I come in this hole and during tournaments and I'm like, why the hell am I not just playing the shot that guarantees me a birdie and get the hell out of here? There's still a grim chance that you could get an eagle, but like, let's just go get our birdie and leave, because this hole can eat your lunch. Good game. See if they'll rematch. There we go. Koh Resort, hole 1, par 4. And like always, I can't remember at all what this hole is. Now I remember. Now it's all coming back to me. If we weren't dealing with this headwind right here, there is a way to get yourself around over here. There's actually, on this hole during tournament play, I play a max overpower hook shot that will get you, if you hit it right, it can get you on the green. But you got to bring out a bigger ball, and you have to practice that shot a few times. Headwind's not real conducive with a lot of max overpower hook shots. Close. Close. Close, my friend. There's no way I'm going to be able to fight against that headwind. No way. Eight, 8. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. I'm going to move a full ring. Isn't it perfect? And that full ring was like maybe a 10%, 15%, 12%. They're having way too much fun with these new emojis. Get in the hole. Get in the hole. Got their wood out. I'll be taking this with a sniper. Isn't it perfect? Let's see if they got it lined up right. See if they made their adjustment right. Too fast. Let's see if we can get this in the cup. There's max club. There's min. I'm right at min. It's 1.3 per ring at min. 1.3. That leaves me 5. I'm going to do 1.5 rings. It's a slight over. Hitting it perfect. Just a little bit too fast. I wasn't sure if it was going to roll out with the ball guide stopping right there. I wasn't sure if it was going to roll out or come to a stop. I couldn't get the ball guide right at the cup, and I didn't want to go through the cup. It looked like it was going to run out too fast. You never can tell when it's doing that, where the ball guide's appearing and disappearing. Hamburgers and fries. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Off we go to a shootout. Let's get a good one. They are definitely going crazy with the new emojis. All right, 30%. Kenny goes first. Kenny's got the low wind turkey ball out. See if my opponent can get down there and get it in. This hole right here, we played this hole right here in a tournament one time, and I had a spot down here, right down here in this. I was sitting on the other side of the sand, way down at the bottom. And I had a spot, and I was just like right there, like literally like right on the cup. And I hit it great to the right, great to the left. I think it might have been great to the left. I hit it great to the left, bam, hole in one. Came in and hit it perfect and was just off the cup. Hit it perfect and was just off the cup. And I kept trying to make adjustments to try and pull it over. And I was in my practice account, and I went and hit 6.7 equals divided by 1. It's a lot of rings. And so I finally ended up hitting it, trying to hit greats in the tournament. And just gave up on it. And I hit everything in the tournament great, exactly where I wanted it, and I couldn't get one of them to drop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Hitting it perfect. See if I got my speed right this time. I'm still going to blow past it. It's a little bit better. I want that speed to stop. I want it to stop right where it was the closest that it came to the cup. Until I can get that speed worked out. That was very little topspin there. Very little topspin. Until I can get that speed worked out, getting on trajectory is not going to matter. For me personally, speed is the number one thing on those types of shots. And then once we get the speed worked out, then we can really start to try and dial in the trajectory. I think if I win this one right here, I might be in the promotion zone. Probably have to win a couple more just to make sure I'm safely into it. This is another nice, easy. You can use any driver on this. Obviously, one that gets you down there farther is better. I will take my number 1 bag. Let's pull it back a little. Let's make sure we got enough room here. 7, 3. There's 2, 4, 6, 7, 3. And I'm gonna do, that'd be about an 8. I'm gonna do right at 4. That's 8. That's a little bit, that's a 10% adjustment on it. Hitting it perfect. Nice and easy, right down the middle. This is definitely a good Albie hole. There is a serious Albie shot on this hole. Seems like the last time we had this in a tournament, I was playing some really weird stuff here. I was doing like mid-club, subtracting out. I had some deal that I had worked on all week long, and I finally started dropping some shots, but I can't remember what it is. It's hard to equate some of that stuff. You get a shot set up in a tournament if you're not using that same ball. Like I know in tournament play, I'm using a Kingmaker on this hole. Because why wouldn't you? Come on. Let's see if we can do a little better than that. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. That is just barely over. And I am right at the red line. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Six. There's 6. Let's just try and bleed it up there and see if we can get on the green. Just recover. Not necessarily recover, just not get ourselves in a spot of bother by trying some hero shot. See if my opponent can easily get in on this chip. Easily got in. Oh, missed it. Missed the putt. Look at that. And we can't play anymore. We've already played 3. What a bummer. I really don't like the thing about not being able to play people, replay people. Playdemic, and it's we don't want to lose any coins. You guys might be sharing. Let's open up a couple chests. Get some slots emptied out here. Trying to fill all these slots with some golds. Here we go. Let's see if we can go get a win. Get into the promotion zone. Maybe. Maybe. My opponent goes first. And why is everybody using special balls today? What's the deal? What is the deal? Got 4,000 games, 1 billion earned. Come on, man. You've been playing up there at the high levels. You don't get a billion earned. I've played 10,800 games, got 290 million earned. So you can tell kind of what you can do is take the number that somebody's earned. If you're playing against somebody, take the number that they've earned, divide it by 2. Divided by the amount of games that they've won, and that'll kind of give you a number, and that'll tell you like what tour. Typically, if they've got 80,000, then that means they've been playing up in Tour 7. That's where they live. It's usually the next tour up. 246, 63. I'm gonna do a little bit of an overpull. I'm gonna do a 3 and third rings. That's about a 10% overpull. Isn't it perfect? El perfecto. Nice and easy right down the middle. Fairway to green. If you're playing out here one-on-one, this is definitely the way to win. It's fairway to green. You're going to get beat sometimes where somebody comes out and they pop off that Albie or they pop off that Eagle. But you're going to win more times out on the course fairway to green. Nothing spectacular. Make your opponent make the mistake. My opponents, they can make that shot, but they've put themselves in the rough. Would have been better to be in the fairway up there. You got a better club. Needle speed's not as fast. I'm in the same damn boat I was in last time. I'm going to do a 5-ring pull. A 5-ring pull, not a 4-ring pull. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. Just rolling it down there. Easy money. Easy breezy. We're being real quiet for my opponent. Let's see if they can get it in. And they didn't. The whole goal here playing one-on-one is to win 50% of your games out on the field. And then just win 50% of your shootouts. And you're a 75% player. So it's all about getting chests. And that means 3 out of 4 times that you go out there, you're getting a chest. More chests we open, more club cards we get, faster we'll get our clubs upgraded. No dice. No dice. See, did I move up into the qualification zone? I am in the qualification zone. Couple more here. I think I'll give myself some breathing room. Knocking somebody out. I think the next one might be a gold chest. Let's go find out. Trying to get back up to 68 million in my bankroll. I got a club upgraded the other day. I can't remember which club it was. I think it was my Nirvana going to level 9. It was like 500,000 to upgrade that club. The duck hole. I'm getting lots of headwind today. Two, 4, 5, 3, 5, 6, about 2 3/4 rings. Puts me about a half a ring into power. I'll rub the nubs. Hit a 1 ring grate to the right, which should have no bearing on the end effect. In the fairway nicely. Now, if you got a big enough ball here, it's hard to do with a headwind, but if you have a big enough ball here, you could go for the bounce over right in this area, trying to get on the green in one. But I think even with a headwind, even with a power 5 ball, you're probably going to have some difficulties. I think that shot from over there, as far as safety-wise with a big ball, you need to have some kind of tailwind, or at least side wind that's not hurting you. Nice rollout. This is a tough side to make an eagle here because of these freaking moguls on the green. Where the hell am I in my club? There's Max. So I'm at Max Hornet. 1.0 per ring. Okay, there's 5. There's 10. Hit 1 ring grate to the left, and if I was going to hit it 1 ring grate one way or the other and it still go in, that's the side. Close. Seems like we do like a 5 or a 10% adjustment there coming into the cup from that side. I think if I'd have hit that perfect, it'd have been pretty close. Not sure if it'd have been in, but it'd have been close. Let's see if my opponent can get in on the dreaded duck hole. Close, no cigar. In the hole. El Perfecto. So other than the missed putt, I haven't had a bad day. Missed putt was kind of a... You gotta have at least one missed putt every day, otherwise you're... What kind of fun would that be? In the hole. Going to a shootout. See if my opponent goes first. No, this is not my favorite shootout. But I do have a plan. Sorry about that. Well, smooth. See if my opponent can get in with their katana. Now, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember here, it takes very little maneuver on this ball. Okay, it's 3-1. There's 1, 2, 3, 1. And that's with 10%. Then I'm going to put just a little teeny bit of curl to bring it back to the cup. Isn't it perfect? Where I'm having problems here is I'm having problems with my distance, getting my distance so that I roll all the way up to the cup. I'm on trajectory, but I need to get my distance right from hitting from that side over there. And there's sometimes I get it right. It takes very little maneuver to get it over there, but if I can get that trajectory right, I can be within 2 every time. That's the goal. All right, getting nicely up the scales into the promotional zone. Let's do one more. Let me fill that one more slot. How much time we got on this video? Well, we played for 47 minutes. One more. Let's fill one more slot. Let's see if we can get a gold on this one and get 3 golds and a silver and have something to be opening up during the day when I'm not playing. Sunshine Glades, of course. One of these Sunshine Glades holes, I actually started doing it. I'm going to do a totally different shot. I've been playing those holes since the game came out. The very first tournament that ever was on Sunshine Glades. And one of those holes, I figured out a different way to play it. 7. There's 5, 6, 7. Put a little bit of curl. Hitting it perfect. Just trying to give myself a good sniper shot coming up to the cup. If you can get up there far enough, there is a rough bump that you can do up there. But I think with a marlin ball, I don't get far enough in the hole, and I don't have enough reach on the second shot to get there. In one-on-one or in tournament play and Ricky, the goal is to try and get over to this side right here and have a nice straight shot coming in. With the way that the wind is blowing right here, I would actually play in a tournament, I would play to the left and try and get out there in my long iron range so that the shot coming into the cup, you've got the wind completely behind you. Whereas if you were hitting out here straight forward, when you get to your second shot, you're going to have a pure side wind. So if this is why it's so important on these holes to have multiple ways to play them. I know if you watch my scouting report, especially if you're an experienced player and you watch the scouting reports, sometimes it may, it's like, oh yeah, no shit, dude, we got all these different ways we can do it. But especially for newer players, it's important to have multiple ways to play these holes in your bag, because you may get out there and you look at the wind and you go, hey, you know what, this shot's actually better from that side over there. 2-7. So we got a pretty nice wind going with us right here. 2-7. I'm gonna do just a titch over. Oh, and then I hit it to the right. I could hit it to the left and possibly get in, but not to the right. L. Perfecto. That right there is what I'm looking for when I'm playing, when I'm doing shootouts. I want my ball to terminate at the closest spot that it ever came to the cup. If you really, when you're playing these different tours and especially when you're getting new shootouts, don't try and do everything at once. The main goal is to try and make sure that your distance is right. And then once you know, like, hey, when I get on this hole, it's only a half a topspin. Or hey, we've got headwind, so I'm going to put on 1 topspin or 1.5 topspin. And then you can start working on those adjustments to try and get it so that it's on track with the hole. But if you focus on that distance first, you'll win a lot more shootouts right off the bat. J-Dub, getting hole. Let's go to a shootout. Let's check out J-Dub. 11,118 games, 5,540 wins. It's hard to know. You can never tell about win percentage. They haven't played in a lot of tournaments, so it might be a proxy account. Or just a secondary account. Or it might be somebody that just doesn't like to play tournaments. Good game. Good game. I need to change my shit up because I want good game. I almost don't like... I know we had to scroll before, but we had, like, when we pulled up the chat stuff, we had more stuff. 7-1. Jeez. Normally I do a 10% adjustment on this, but I'm gonna up that because of this damn headwind. I'm gonna do 7-1. I'm gonna do a 25% wind adjustment. 0.1. I normally do a 10, and I'm going to add on about 15% just because of how hard the wind's blowing. It's almost... let's do a 20% times. No, that wind's blowing too far, too close to straight forward. You can see how far back they hit in the pad. Times 7.7 equals, and we are at max club. 9 rings. Do I even have enough room to pull out? I don't even know if I have enough room to pull that out. I don't. .6 rings. There's 5. And I hit it 75 million rings. Great. To the left. Ah! Right at the very end, and I just collapsed. Yeah, that is a no shit. Dude, what was I thinking? What were you thinking, man? Good game. Good game. Come on, dude. Come on, man. There you go. Jeez. It's 100,000 coins. I hardly ever talk about bankroll. I talk about bankroll, but the whole deal about bankroll when you're going up, especially if you're a new player. If you're a newer player out there and either you're just getting involved in the game or you've been playing the game for a while, you just haven't ever, like moderate success. The first thing, if you want success in this game, if I was to give you guys, and then not in any particular order, it's kind of like what's the most important thing about ladder safety. Number 1 is every rule is rule number 1. They're not in any particular order. Having bankroll management is definitely important in this game. So you can play and have fun. That's why if you've got a brand new account, there's no reason to go up the scale super fast. Okay, Okay, I think it might be blue ring. Ten. There's 5. There's 10 and a little. Let's see if I can get myself around that corner. We're getting some pretty good. Whew, just barely made that. You want to make it to that shadow right there. The closer you can get to that shadow, the better. I'm going to wrap it around this tree, so I'm not worried at all about those trees. I would like to get in front of this tree right here, because then you've got this clear lane, and so I'm a little bit back of where I'd like to be. I had to pull the shot back because of that big ass headwind, and what I should have done normally on there, you only need like 1.5, maybe 2 topspin, but usually about 1.5 to get around that corner. I should have put on more topspin to make up the distance for how far I had to pull back. And a great sniper shot right there if they can get the wind adjustment right. That's a tricky area to do wind adjustments because it's water, sand, rough, and in very short succession. And in those areas, the wind, depending on which way it's blowing, it gets seriously affected. And that kind of shit right there can happen where you can actually, the most important part of a rough bump, then this is absolutely true, the most important part of a rough bump is actually hitting the rough. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but that is a rule. So if we're in this area right here, it's going to be a 3 backspin, maybe. There's 5, 6, 7, and a little. Let's see if I can get back around that tree. Need maybe one more backspin on that, and it would have hit lower and then dropped down onto the green. It gives you at least, you can at least get on the green over there and have a shot at the eagle, but it's usually a pretty guaranteed birdie. Come in here with a little bit better ball. Even against a headwind like that, with a Kingmaker, it wouldn't make any difference. Not in all cases, but the mass majority of the time, you can compensate for your clubs with different balls. That's why it's so important to have a huge ball inventory if you've got, if you're really playing and you're trying to play up, having access to balls, because some balls can change the whole nature of how a hole gets played. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Birdie. Usually the only time I don't get a birdie going to the left is when I duff the drive. And depending on where you're at over there on the other side, most of the areas that you end up in trouble, you can recover. Let's see if they'll play again. All right, one more time. I don't have an empty slot right now, so if I win, I'm actually losing. I wish there was I will tell you that they might make me rethink buying the golf pass thing if when we were here there would be a way for me to set it up so that if I'm playing and I win a chest and there was no empty slots, go ahead and open one to clear a slot. That would almost be worth it because you never want to ever play this game without an empty slot. Nice shot, man. Nice shot. There's 7-3. One ring on the outside, one ring to the right. That's about as far as you can get up there. And this particular hole right here, that shot right there is pure setup. You can take your quarterback or your rock. Either one of them will work on that. Your quarterback, while it has less distance, it has more topspin than the rock. So you can end up pretty close to the same distance, not quite, just depending on which way the wind's blowing. You can go up there and go around that corner and set your blue rings, your 3 rings off the transitional surface. So your 3 rings out into the fairway. Set it in that spot, take out the wind. So if you have a headwind, you'll have to pull back a little bit so that you have enough maneuverability to take the headwind out. And at that point, it might be, if you had an apocalypse or something, you could even bring out a big topper. You're gonna have to pull back a little. That's bad. Oh, shit. That's the brown stuff right there. Okay, it's 4-8. There's 4... 4-8, and I'm going to put some curl on it because I want to, and just a little teeny bit of overpower. Isn't it perfect? Oh! You gotta be kidding me. I've been having some problems. This particular hole, like I'll need to play it a few times in order to get that second shot down. But because the second shot with a marlin ball, depending on which way the wind's blowing, can be and a sniper, can be a little bit of a challenging shot to get it around the corner because I'm not really trying to go for the Albie. I'm just trying to get it up there on the other side so that I have a short pitch or a putt. And I've actually been having a little bit of problems with that second shot just from lack of practice. Because this hole's super eagleable, but it's super hard to get an Albie. And I definitely do not want to have to go to a shootout here. Oh, so close. Distance looked good though. That Nirvana has so much topspin that one of the things I like about the Spitfire and the Nirvana, and the Nirvana has less of it than the Spitfire, but you can run that topspin out. You can treat a Spitfire when you're up close. Like a lot of, the argument would be like with the Malibu being a pretty accurate club and being good up close. It could be argued that the Spitfire is also very good up close because while it doesn't have the accuracy, what you can do with the Spitfire is you can run that topspin out. Especially if you're on a different surface. So if you're going from the fairway, your first bounce is in the fairway and then it's going up and then running. But you can get that same effect with that Nirvana. This is a great hole-in-one hole right here. is one of those holes where you're doing a rough bump from the fairway. You're hitting it, it's going downhill, and you're hitting it at that angle. 6-2. That'd be 6-8. That'd be 7-1. There's 5, 6, 7, 1. Hit it one ring great to the right. And if I was going to hit it one way, great to the left or the right, right was better there because that's the direction the wind's blowing. So, close. There's a few. Anytime when they put new holes in the game, or there's a lot of holes in the game where you can have this type of effect where you're coming down the hill like that and you're using so much backspin and you're hitting it at that midpoint. If you go too far down the hill, you get on the flat and then you have your normal trajectory. If you hit too high up on the hill, you get this really high trajectory, but there's a spot in the middle where you're almost doing the same effect as a rough bump from the fairway. We just had a par 3 in one of the recent tournaments that we played that there was a shot that you could do that on. The deal is you have to hit that spot. You don't want to be higher or lower on the hill. So if you have a side wind or, you can adjust that out. And if you make a bad adjustment, you're still in the same spot. But if you got a tailwind or a headwind and you make a bad adjustment, you're going to hit higher or lower on the hill. And it can make a big difference. Good game. Can we rematch again? I didn't win a chest there because I didn't have any empty slots. Or are we all done? We're all done. Hey. Good luck. All right. Getting some chests. We must have played for an hour. I did play for an hour. Look at that. All right. Just getting some playtime in Tour 7. Just going back and I've been playing a lot of Tour 5 for the last couple weeks just because I've been trying to get the White Cliff holes, but I wanted to get my divisional stuff up. Get me up into the range where I would get promoted, go back up. I just haven't been playing very much. I want to get back up to where I get my get back up into the expert rankings. So just trying to make my way through pro. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend and see you in the tournament next week.